Tony, another disappointing weekend for the team.
Yeah, it was. Yeah, we were disappointed with our performance. The standards weren't right, and we weren't up to our standards in what we've set for ourselves, and probably not up to the standards that we'd been meeting in not so long ago. Only a matter of 2 or 3 weeks ago, we were very happy with the way we were performing and the consistency that we were gaining, and within 2 weeks we've come up with some substandard performance, and we're not enjoying that. But it's part of the process that we'll go through. We're trying to develop ourselves into being a good and consistent team, and until we learn how to deal with some performances that are subpar, and then still be able to find ways of winning those games. I believe that in both those games we had a chance of still winning them, even though we didn't perform to our best. And I thought the Giants, whilst they were good particularly in defence, I thought they invited us back into the match straight after half time, and we didn't take that invitation. But in the week before, we got ourselves back into a winning position and then gave that up. So we're going to learn some lessons from them. They're hard lessons to learn, but we'll learn from them and get better.
Have you been able to put your finger on what's been going wrong the last couple of games?
Oh yeah, definitely. I think it's fairly obvious that we're not building games at the moment. And particularly, I think the Giants showed that in the first half. I don't think they were great at it in the second half. We're finishing the sets on really good kicks and in good field position, and we're probably not. We're definitely not doing that consistently enough at the moment, and we're looking for big plays, and rather than some steady plays that get us and build a match. But I can also understand it too. In recent times, not so long ago, everything we were trying was coming off, and sometimes when you're in that sort of position, or in that sort of mentality, that it can work for you by having faith in yourself and going for things, and sometimes it just feels like nothing can go wrong. But when they do start to go wrong, or not coming off like they were before, and you get too many of us trying to come up with those big plays, it can hurt us, and that's how we're finding it at the moment. So we need to get a bit of steadiness back about us, and and repair a little bit of that, and build some games, and when we do that, I'm sure that we'll get back to some of our best rugby league again.
Do you think there's any confidence crisis?
Oh no, I don't think it's got anything to do with confidence. What we may have been guilty on is a bit of overconfidence in some of the big plays coming off, because they were working so well for us, and every pass was sticking, and then every offload and every kick was sticking. Sometimes they can leave you or part their way, leave you and put you under pressure and put your team under pressure. And we probably, we've had a few players that aren't in their best form that were in fantastic form, and they'll get it back, I'm sure. And we're working hard at the moment to get it back, and we're doing some hard graft at the moment. Prior to that, we had some pretty big matches and back-to-back big matches against some pretty good teams, and we come up with real good performances. Sometimes there can be a little bit of a lull after those sort of periods. We're trying to overcome those, and we don't want those to come and hurt us again. But it's natural for that to happen. I think you probably see since we played Wigan and that little tough period that we went through, that we've dipped a bit. But Wigan have too. I think they've, in the last couple of matches, I know they had another one straight afterwards with Leeds, and they were below their best there, and you see the result that they got on the weekend. So I think it's natural for most teams to go through some of that, but we're going to try and learn from it and negate it as much as we can.
Of course, at the weekend you're facing Crusaders, who are bottom of the league, so they've got a lot to prove, haven't they? Yeah, for sure, and they can be a dangerous team. They've got some very, very dangerous players, and they're coming together, and they've been without a few of their key players for much of the year, and they've now into 2 or 3 matches, and it always takes 2 or 3 matches. So I'm expecting a different Crusaders this weekend, and everybody that comes to our pitch knows that they're in for a game, and come to play the best rugby they can. So and which, you know, I'll be happy if they do. I'll be happy if they play really well, and we need to play even better than that. And that's the name of the game. That's what we want to do, and you know, make sure that we're getting back into the form that we know we're capable of, and you know, building into games and being a bit more consistent than what we've shown in the last 2 weeks anyway.
Are you planning to make many changes to your team?
Too early in the week to really look at that too much. In terms of we've got a couple of people that we're looking at from the weekend. We're hopefully Breeze will be back from last week. He missed out with a dead leg. I think he'll come back in. King, I don't think will be available for this week, but we'll just make sure that we put out the freshest bodies. There are a couple of players, there's some signs there of a little bit of fatigue, I think, and for a couple of the younger guys who are right up probably to their limit of games in terms of not having a break. So we'll have a look at some bodies and see if we need to make some changes.
You mentioned Lee Breers there. I noticed in the media again there was a lot made of Lee not being available at Huddersfield and Warrington not quite the same team without him. I'm sure you're sick and tired of hearing this one.
No, I don't know, sick and tired. I think it's a pretty boring sort of question, really. You know, and Lee and I've talked about it. He knows it. You know, anybody who thinks we're a one-man team, and you know, and Lee, you know, is the first one to say, we've got some fantastic players in our team. I like when he's there. They like when he's there. We've won games without Lee. We've lost games with Lee and without Lee. I think I won't say what my answer was to the media the other day, but hey, when Lee's playing well, he's fantastic, and he'll be welcome back in our team when he's fit and healthy. But you know, we've got him. We've signed him for another year, so you know, on those games when he's not playing and he doesn't play, I'll have to answer those questions again.
Yeah, you've signed Lee for another year and done some other contract extensions. Are there any others in the offing?
Yep. You've had that answer from me.
I have, yes. I was expecting it as well. But I mean, one of the key players who I'm reading about at the moment is Gareth Carvell. There's quite a strong story out there linking him with a move down under at the end of the season. Is there anything you can say about that?
I haven't read the article, so no, I can't comment on that. So
he has been interviewed and made no secret of his own desire to play down under. Okay. So. And he is out of contract at the end of the season, so I was just wondering if there was any news on him extending his stay here or moving to pastures new.
No, I haven't got any news for you. If I did, you'd be the first to know.
Okay, Tony. Thanks for your time as always.
No worries.
Cheers.